Hello and welcome to the Exchequer Forgotten Features video. Today I'm going to go through some really useful features hidden in Exchequer that unfortunately quite often are forgotten about. The first thing I'm going to talk to you about is the searching in Exchequer, which can be accessed using this search button on the top toolbar, or alternatively you can use your F8 button on your keyboard. You can search for all of the particular transactions or areas within the system listed here, but it doesn't matter which one you select because you will have the tabs available to you across the top. For example, I might want to search for a customer account, and I can search by everything available to me in this drop-down list. So I might want to search for the letters AB, and that will return me any account code which begins with the letters AB. If I double click, it will open up that customer record directly so that I don't have to be going into the trader list to access that. Similarly, for the documents, you can search for a particular document reference or for any other of the fields listed here. If I search for the document, it opens itself on screen and I can do everything that I normally would be able to this particular document. Again, that saves me going into the sales or purchase day books directly to search for this particular transaction. The second thing that I'm going to talk to you about is the object drill facility within Exchequer. What this does is, for the currently highlighted transaction that I have open on screen, if I select this object drill button on the very top toolbar, that will show me anything that's linked to this particular transaction. So for example, this sales invoice has actually come from a sales order and it actually belongs to this account. I can double click and open up that information to view it on screen if I wish. And as soon as I click on this close button here, it closes any linked documents and takes me directly back into that particular record. As a side note, anywhere in the system that you see these little arrows means that you can also double click on that field and drill down to that information that way as well. It also works on stock codes. The third thing that I want to talk to you about is the Object Credits Controller within the system. And this is accessed from the search button on the top toolbar, and there's the Object Credit Controller here. Now what this does is, for the currently highlighted account that you have in the system, it will actually show over on the right hand side a credit breakdown of the credit limit and any aging of the particular balances on screen. This is reflected when you make any changes on the left hand side. What you also might want to do at this point is actually open up that account onto their ledger screen and use the filter button to filter any outstanding transactions. Then, with a little bit of resizing and rejigging of screens, what you essentially have on screen is a snapshot of that particular customer's credit at any one point in time. So this is a really useful tool for credit control. You'll be able to access the customer account as well as a reflection of any of those balances over on the right hand side as you flick through them. The fourth thing that I want to talk to you about is the general ledger clone and the general ledger clone difference. If we have a general ledger screen open in front of us and we right click in that and select object clone, that will open the exact same screen. And we can have them side by side if we wish, and we may want to set a different period and year and compare them side by side. If you right click and select object clone again and open up a third screen, what you can do in this third screen is right click and select object clone difference. And what that will allow you to do, you may want to compare period and year balances year on year or period on period and actually see the reflective differences in this third screen. If you use this top left screen as the driver, as and when you flick through that screen, you will see any changes are reflected on the right hand side. If we close the original screen, it closes all three screens. And the last thing that I want to talk to you about in the forgotten features with Exchequer is a really useful feature when adding transactions. If we're adding transactions and we may be adding them for the same account code or the same stock code, or there's some kind of information that we want to repeat, we can easily do that without having to rekey the information. So I'm just going to add this transactions for AB applications. I'm going to put in the day as the 3rd of October. I'm just going to put test into these fields. And I might want to add a battery onto there. Might want to override the price as well and take out the discount. I'm just going to store that transaction. Now, when we come to add another transaction, we might be adding it for the same account code or the same date, and we might not want to type that information in. If you use your F9 button on your keyboard, that will just repeat the last information that you had typed into all of these fields. The same for the transaction lines as well. This works system-wide, so it's not just on transactions. It might be a stock adjustment that you add in, or a stock code, or a customer account, or something similar. And that's quite a useful feature that will save you a lot of time. Thank you for listening to the Exchequer Forgotten Features video. Of course, if there are any questions that you have or any help that you require, please don't hesitate to contact us at the HBP Exchequer Support Help Desk.